So I was watching another podcast, the Grocery Girls, the other day. Hi, I'm Laura.
I'm Cecilia.
And this is the Yarn Mews podcast.
Yay!
I'm not really sure what episode it is. It might be 13, but I think I'm done counting.
We should not count.
I mean, I'm just going to put it in the title, and you guys can figure it out.
Until we get to 100, and then we have to have a party. Because then we get money from the syndications.
Sure, something like that.
Yeah.
But apparently, if you get to 1,000 subscribers, YouTube sends you a nice little email.
Plaque. Or an email.
I don't know.
Not
I
the
don't
plaque
think
level.
I don't think they get you a plaque.
When you get to 1 million, they send you stuff. Because I know that Dan TDM, who I adore, he's at 20 million now.
Oh my God.
And like every 5 million,
I would like to get to
a thing from YouTube.
200.
Somewhere between 200 and 20 million, that's where we're going.
Yeah, that's our goal. But again, I think I haven't been putting it out on Facebook as often, every time we do it, and I need to do that.
You do.
Yeah, one of my husband's friends said, "Oh, I'd love to see it," and I'm like, "Oh, I don't know, do I really want to send my podcast to all these people?" But yeah, it'd be a good thing.
You send it to everybody.
Yeah.
It's not like you're saying bad things about your husband's friends.
Well, did you?
Not like we're gossiping about him. I mean, much. No more than anybody else, I guess.
So, what have you been up to the past 2 weeks?
I've been knitting away at this thing. I'm getting close to done.
Woohoo!
I've got a whole side and another side almost done.
So this is the back part down here, which has got a fuzzy on it. I'm sorry, I had to take it off.
Oh my God!
I know, it's just a thing I do.
It's actually the inside, I think.
Yeah, but this is the back.
Right. That's the back.
And these are the
fronts. These are fronts.
Kind of things.
Yeah. So
cool.
Yeah.
You don't have much to go at all.
I don't.
You could get that done tonight.
I could, depending on what's going on in my household.
So you went to the fair.
I did go to the fair. I love the fair.
Tell us. I mean, did you take any pictures of things in the creative activities?
Yes.
Could you send those to me, and I'll superimpose them over us talking about the fair?
Sure, that would be awesome.
Fun.
I will say this, because it was raining. It went last Friday, which I don't mind the rain because I wore my big floppy hat that keeps the rain off my glasses, and that's all I really care about. Because I don't care if I get wet, I dry. It's amazing.
You're dryable.
I know.
I used to always say that to my kids. Oh, it's dryable.
But we had a great day. Went and had breakfast, which is one of my favorite things to do at the fair. We went to the Salem Lutheran Church place, and they've really updated it because it's all run by volunteers. These little church places, and there's only a couple of them left. But instead of having little pads of paper, they actually have like little iPods that they are just putting in the order and hitting send, and they're like, it's being made. So they're sending it directly to the kitchen, which I thought was
high-tech.
They have.
Wow.
But they still serve Swedish egg coffee if you want that.
What the heck is Swedish egg coffee?
They put eggshells in the coffee grounds.
Why?
I have no idea. I don't drink coffee, and I'm not Swedish. But I know that's what they do.
Interesting.
But I think it's something to do with just not that it keeps the grounds from getting in the coffee, maybe. I suspect
that can't be it.
I have no idea why.
Maybe it's to keep it from being bitter?
Maybe.
I
don't know. I didn't have any of it because don't drink coffee unless it's full of chocolate.
Well,
which is really...
So I went yesterday to have coffee with, and I'm sorry, we'll get back to the state fair.
Yeah.
But I went to have coffee with the owner of Treadle Yard Goods at Cahoots Coffee in St. Paul. It's right across from Mississippi Market. And first of all, it's a cute little place, so shout out to Cahoots. But they have Moroccan mochas. I did not have one, but Michelle was telling me how great they are, and she had one, and I was like, oh man. I got there before she did, so I just ordered a latte, and if I had known, I might have done that just because.
Because something new.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I've had Mexican chocolates, mochas.
Yeah.
But I don't think I've ever had a Moroccan one.
No.
So
Sounds like it might be a little spicy.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well, so is the Mexican one because it's got cinnamon in it. But
yeah.
yeah. I may have to go back just to try their Moroccan
Well, maybe we'll
mocha.
have to go over there and check them out.
Yeah,
You can take me with you.
there you go.
Because I'm awesome, and who doesn't want
and
to spend
road
time
trip.
with me? Road trip. We got stuff we got to do anyway.
Yeah.
So
So back
yeah.
to the fair.
So it was lovely, and I had jam on my toast, which I haven't had jam in a long time, so it was very exciting to splurge on some jam. You know? But
No jam means weight loss.
yes,
for sure.
it does. Well, I don't eat a lot of jam to start
No,
with,
I don't
but
either.
it's like one of those things where when I have it, I'm like, man, why don't I eat more jam? But I know why, because you know, it's quite a bit of calories in jam. So then we went down we went to Lariat. We went to the education building, and we went and saw the Spudmobile, and we went to the Eco place, the Eco Experience, which I love going in there.
Yeah.
It's one of my all-time favorite things to do. And they've got this giant Paul Bunyan that the Ark Valley Village and a bunch of other places like that have made out of old clothes. And his hat is knit with old T-shirts.
Cool.
And he's huge. I mean, he's huge. And I look at that and I think, I wonder how many stitches they had to cast on. And every time I'm looking at him, like, because it's knit,
Yeah.
you know, and it's amazing. So go to the
cool.
Eco Building and see Paul Bunyan in his hat. And then I went down the Creative Activities Building, and because it was raining, there were people in there who should not been in the Creative Activities Building, which
Okay. Who
They-
should not because they don't care? Or-
yes,
Okay.
they're just there to be in my way. All right, and then they
Yes.
say things like,
they were thinking, let's go into the Creative Activities Building to be in Cecilia's way.
and other people who care about the creative activities stuff, because they just stand there like, well, I don't understand why that one won a prize. It's like, you know what, go away, you're an idiot. And they're like, well, this isn't even very nice. It's like, shut up. Even if it isn't nice, keep it to yourself.
Yeah.
You don't say, though. That person who made that Afghan might be standing behind you.
Right.
Don't be mean.
Yes,
That's
well,
what I'm going to
that's
say.
true. Yeah.
And,
That's true.
you know, it's... And they put a lot of work into it.
Yeah.
Everything in there. And I didn't see anything
What
that
was the
wasn't nice.
sweepstakes winner this year?
Um,
And I'm talking about sweepstakes for knitted items.
I don't remember,
Okay.
because I'm bad at that. I just
Yeah.
went and looked at the things of people I knew, like
Yeah.
Jay's.
Yeah. So
Jay's one of our people, and he's awesome. He's a fantastic Norwegian sweater knitter. I mean, it's just stunning, and he's won now 2 years in a row
yeah.
with his Norwegian sweater. So it's
Was it an adult sweater or a
yeah,
child's?
no, he does these adult sweaters,
Yeah.
and he like gives them to people. He's a crazy man. He gives them to his nieces and stuff because
Because you want to
'Cause-
knit the Norwegian sweater and you don't need another one yourself.
I guess I don't know. But
Have you ever seen
he's
him
very
wear
nice.
a Norwegian sweater? Maybe he just likes
No.
knitting them and doesn't want to wear them
It could
himself.
be. Although I know he made like 2 or 3 Lillehammers,
Yeah.
and one of them was for him.
Oh, okay.
So, and
What
yeah.
else did you see interesting? I mean, somebody told me that there was a whole display someplace of knitted small things and like food and buildings and various small things like that. And it might have been a Knittiapolis.
Could be, like I said,
thing.
it was very crowded in there because
Yeah.
people who don't belong were in my way.
Well, I don't know if it was in the Creative Activities
Yeah, I don't know.
building.
But they do have a category which is not in the general knitting category.
Right.
It falls under the toys, which is a totally separate category in the things.
In the Creative Activities.
Well, in the
premium
little...
booklet and stuff.
Yeah,
Oh, I'll have to go look and see
Yeah.
if any of our customers want anything
yeah,
there.
because that is where all the knitted toys go. And in that they have group of blank amount of
Okay.
knitted items this
That's
size.
probably what this person
Yes.
saw, yeah.
Yeah. And so I did take a picture of someone had done a whole tree of Arnie and Carlos's birds.
Yes, yeah.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
think that's what, yeah, okay.
Yeah, so I got a picture of that.
Yeah, that person, I believe is a Lila and Claudine's customer, because I think I saw a picture of that on their,
Oh, could be.
on their Instagram.
But they were lovely.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a totally different category, and it's a thing that really bothers me because to me, it's like the knitted stuff should stay in the knitted category.
Right.
I mean, why put them under and it's kind of goes under the sewing section is where the toys are.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, and so you have to look under sewing to see.
And I assume crochet toys would be
there too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, unless they're putting the crochet toys under, that
I
weird category
just made a mistake.
of, not wearable or whatever. I mean,
Right.
some of their categories are weird at the fair, and it's. I mean, we've discussed this for the needlepoint side too, where they don't have one for ornaments, which.
Yeah, which is crazy.
Stupid, because.
Okay, everybody, I'm not going to be looking at the camera for a little bit because I messed up this whole row, so now I have to rip.
So.
Oh, were you mouthing off over there?
No. No, I never mouth off. I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, I had a great day at the fair. I saw cows, which is one of my favorite things to see. I saw sheep. I saw a new breed of sheep I'd never seen before.
Really? What was it?
It was called a dorper, D-O-R-P-E-R.
Interesting.
Yeah, and I had to look it up. It's a meat sheep. So, because they were very little, and I'm like, well, they're small. They don't look like they've got much fleece, you know. But, and then I looked at chickens.
So someday we should talk about the different breeds of sheep. I mean, we've done that a little bit. We've talked about blue-faced Leicester and
Quarterdales and stuff.
Yeah, but it'd be interesting to talk about some of the differences between the fleeces and the yarns that you get from those sheep.
And I got to see Columbias, which are always my favorite ones to see because they're the only true American breed. They were bred here in the United States.
Cool.
At the end of the war.
World War II?
World War II.
Okay. Because,
The war, not the Great War.
There were many wars last year.
Last year. Apparently, Laura is condensing all of the 20th century into 1 year.
Yes, last century. I was just I read a lot of books. Probably mentioned this before, but I read this book called Moonstone, which is set in Iceland, and it's in Reykjavik. I'm sure I'm saying that wrong, but you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, it starts like the week before the Spanish flu epidemic hits in the fall of 1918, and I wrote this review, and I wrote 2018 instead of 1918, and somebody's like, I think you mean 2018.
1918.
1918, yes.
Did it again.
Exactly. Yeah, well, we're in 2018, and it's so easy to do, so anyway. I wouldn't recommend the book. I mean, it was okay, and it was intriguing about the whole Spanish flu thing.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of very graphic sex in it. And I'm not a prude. Whatever. But you can tell about people having sex in a book without having to be really graphic about it. And it wouldn't have bothered me if they had, it was just really graphic and wasn't necessary. And kind of went over into the whole erotica genre, whereas I was more interested in the Spanish flu, and it was the main character was a homosexual young man. So I was more interested in how the community dealt with this homosexual young man back then and the Spanish flu than I was in the sex. Does that make sense?
Sure.
So, anywho. But that was all about 1918. I don't know what we were talking about before.
We were talking about sheep breeds.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So, but yeah, I could spend hours talking about sheep breeds. So whenever you want to do that, I'm on board.
Okay.
I can bring charts. I can.
Yeah.
Sheep are very exciting. So anyway, I had a good day at the fair.
Good.
Got wet. It was fine.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm going. We might go Monday on Labor Day, but, you know, my husband was saying yesterday, oh my God, I keep reading about how bad the crowds are this year. And
There weren't any crowds on Friday.
yeah, I'm sure it'll be busy on Labor Day.
It always is.
Yeah.
That's why I usually go on that Friday.
Yeah.
It's
I like
Governor's Fire Prevention Day usually, so that's usually the day we go.
I like going the first day of the fair. It's clean. If you go early, I like going at 8 a.m. in the morning, then it's not busy, you know, that's when I like to go.
Well, I will say this, we were there and I was watching people picking up trash. Because they have kids going around with baskets and just picking up trash. You know, really, for such a big place of, you know, people, so many people wandering around with disposable stuff, it really is very clean.
Yeah.
I mean, it's cleaner than, like, when I go to a race and we got the racers dumping their cups everywhere, which, you know, it's like, it's like...
She's talking about a running race,
yeah.
By the way. My mind, if for some reason, went to automobile racing. I don't know why.
When I'm automobile racing, yeah. You are a crazy person.
I don't know.
So, you know, it's cleaner than those.
Yeah.
Which, you know.
Yeah, true.
And when you go to an event, any kind of event, there's always people throwing garbage on the floor and stuff.
So
and when
here's my
when you go to the
standard,
fair,
right?
It's really pretty clean.
My standard for the fair or amusement parks is Disney World.
You can't compare it to Disney World. It was created by a fascist, and you know, right? No, dude, he fired people who grew mustaches and beards. Okay, you can't.
That's not the definition of a fascist.
He was a fascist. They made people wear each other's underwear until there was a crab outbreak about 10 years ago. This isn't like 50 years ago.
I'm going to have to look that up.
You look it up, because I read an article and I'm like, wait a second, they can't wear their own underwear under the costumes? That's madness.
Yeah, that would be madness.
You know, so
Anywho.
yeah, no, Disney is the pinnacle and everyone should go by it. But really, our state fair is really nice. I give big props to state fair committees and such who are running the place, because they do a great job.
Yeah. Well, I like the fair, but I haven't been in years. I don't love crowds, you know? So I got to go. I said to Tom, well, we could go at 8 a.m. on Labor Day, and he said, yeah, but that kind of, cuts into our Labor Day vacation day. And I'm like, okay.
Oh.
Wouldn't that be like a fun thing to do?
It's a fun thing to do.
Holiday?
It's not work.
Yeah. So,
All right.
We'll figure
Well,
it out.
you don't have to go. But I would encourage everyone to go, because
Yeah.
our state fair is awesome.
Yeah.
So,
Yep. So I guess let me get to the end of the row, and then I'll show you what I'm knitting on, which you've seen before. I did not bring my Strath and Drift this time. I haven't knit on it for about a week because I've been working on something else, which I'll show in a few minutes. But so the Strath and Drift is such an interestingly shaped garment, because you do increases at the armholes rather than decreases, to kind of accentuate that boxy look, and the sleeves. But anyway, so I'm right at where you do the increases for the arms. And I was working on it last night, and I forgot that I was supposed to do increases on that row, so now I gotta rip back a little bit. I mean, it's just one row, but that one row is like 400 and something stitches.
yep.
So yeah, it just takes a long time. And I started to rip back, and I couldn't find my notes of where I've written down where I was supposed to start everything. I'm pretty sure I know, but I gotta find those notes, which I believe might be in my design notebook, which is here because I accidentally left it here when I brought my little object that I was designing to show you yesterday. So
Well, there you go.
yeah.
It's probably on your desk.
no, it's here now on this
Oh.
chair right next to me.
Oh,
'cause-
well, there you go. That one
yeah.
McAllister College thing.
So, anywho,
Nice.
you know, this is just taking too long. Let me just show you this, and then I'll pull out this other stuff, because it's kind of boring to watch me just knit. Except it's really hard to show you this. Talk about something else, Cecilia, while I finish this row. And then I won't start the next one. Because I only really have about 20 stitches to go, so it's not
Well,
that far.
We could just briefly mention the fact that they're working next door. They were painting this week. It's looking really nice.
I was actually thinking that maybe at the end of this episode, I might just put a little video of what's happening over there. I run over there and take a little video and show you, you know, what's been done so far. There's not much that would be of great interest to you, but a couple of little things.
Yeah, and
So.
we're very excited. So every step forward, huh? Yay!
Yes,
There we
every
go.
step forward, we're so excited, and hopefully the expansion will happen on schedule, which it's currently scheduled for September 23rd and 24th, which is a Monday and a Tuesday. So,
Yep.
fingers crossed. Every finger.
All
Come
the
up,
fingers,
all the fingers.
cross them all. So, all right, we'll show off your stuff then.
All right, so this is the
Melanie Berg thing.
yeah, the Melanie Berg shawl from the cover of her new shawl book, and it's called Midnight in Berlin.
It's beautiful.
And you know, I'm just about to get into the second ball of yarn. I don't remember how many stitches I have to have going across before you bind off, but it's got a ways to go.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
not big enough yet.
No, but I'm hardly working on this at all, so I worked on it a little bit yesterday. I maybe got 4 rows done, 5 rows done, something like that. So,
Well,
anywho,
It's nice.
thanks. And I'll show you this other little thing that I've been working on this week instead of Strafe and Drick. Oh, you know, I forgot to bring out the other sample I had. Well, that's okay. Here's my design notebook. Let's just see if I've got my Strafe and Drick notes in here. Oh, there it is.
There you go.
No, that's not complete notes. Where the heck did I put those? Man, that's annoying. I'm sure. I mean,
I'm sure
spent
you
a
put
lot
them
of time.
somewhere sensible.
I know, right?
Mm-hmm.
I spent a lot of time calculating because I want the design to end at the shoulder.
Yeah, I know. I remember you talking about that before.
Anyway, those notes are around someplace. I'll find them. Maybe they're in my bullet journal.
Could be.
That might be. Okay, so I've been working on this new little project. This is a little hat to be. Sorry, it's hard for me to get close because I think we're too far away still. But you can see there's little sequins in the top part. But
It's a fancy hat.
yeah, I haven't decided on the name, but the idea is that it's going to be a free pattern with these little macaroon kits that we've made up that are 25 grams of fingering or lace or sometimes sport weight yarn. And I think it's going to be a cute little pattern.
It is very cute. I like it.
Thank you. Thanks. I already done one prototype, and I just did not like the decreases at the top of the hat, so I'm doing another one, and then, I don't know, maybe I'll have Cecilia do one of them just to, you know, test knit the pattern. So
Yeah.
I mean, I'm feeling pretty comfortable with it, but why not? Well, can't hurt to have a third one done, right?
It's true.
Yeah.
You
So,
never have too many hats.
yeah,
That's my philosophy in life.
absolutely.
And it served me well.
Well, and you know, I think there's plenty of yarn to do a slouchier hat, so maybe we do, you know, this one is more of a beanie, and then do a slouchier version as well. I think 25 grams of each color is plenty to make it a little slouchy
Should
as
be.
well.
Should be.
And I think the only thing I do is just increase this by half an inch, increase this by half an inch, and
Yep.
so there you go.
Sounds like a plan.
That's what I've been working on. And I thought about calling, I don't know, I'm trying to think of a good name. transitional macaroon. I don't know. It seems kind of big.
Yeah, it seems weird.
I mean, I thought about faded macaroon, but I don't want to. Although it is kind of on that whole faded thing, that's kind of Andrea Mallory's term.
Yeah.
So I gotta think of. I have to pull out my handy dandy thesaurus and find a different word for fade.
True.
Blend.
Blend. Maybe. I don't know. I don't like blend.
Yeah, I don't
That
know either.
sounds different. I don't know. That sounds different than fade. I don't know. We'll have to. You've got a thesaurus.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll come up with something.
We'll figure it out.
We'll figure
we
it out.
always do.
Yeah. So anyway, that's what's going on, and that's a good little segue into our what our prize is going to be this week, because we're going to give away this macaroon kit that I just showed.
Yep.
And it will have, hold on.
All right.
And it will have the new pattern with it. It's also got our previous pattern in here, and so you can decide which one
So
you
you
want
get
to do.
two patterns.
Yeah. And we're going to give away this swell bottle as well, because for some reason we have that.
We
here.
do.
Did we get it
We got it free from
somebody?
from somebody.
Yeah.
And
Cool.
can't remember.
It's unused, just in case you were wondering.
Yeah, it has its box and
See,
everything.
look, here's the box.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's not a used thing or anything. It's just
Because, we just don't want to use it anymore. So.
yeah, I know that was not the case.
All yours.
Don't ever give away used things. Crazy girl.
I know, right? The other thing is that we just got this yarn, and it's called Pixie Sticks.
I think those are so cute.
And, I think if you took some of these, you could do this macaroon hat and these as well. With, they're
sparkly.
variegated and they're sparkly, which you can't really tell there.
But they are, trust us.
Yeah. I mean, these have 45 yards in it. It doesn't say how much they weigh, though. I don't know if they're 25 grams.
Gosh, if only there was such a thing that we could use to weigh them.
Well, I'm not going to go try to find it now because
Let's see,
we're
45.
kind of blocked in
Yeah,
here.
we trap ourselves in this little
There's
thing.
some more colors. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, 45
These are from Knitted
times
Wit, by the way.
3.
Same number of yardages are gumballs. So if you did the Peep Show shawl, participated in the Participation project this summer, you could use these for a Peep Show shawl as well. So it's really fun. So there you go. And I'm not really on the topic anymore of winners and what, we haven't decided what they have to do or anything like that in order to win the prize that we just showed. But I wanted to say this is the prize from last time, and Christine Reardon won this.
Yay,
so,
Christine!
Yay! I'll put it in the whole bin for you, and you can come pick it up at any time. It's some beautiful silk, 100% silk, mulberry silk from Araucania.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
So, and speaking of comments, because now
yeah.
we are.
Well, wait a minute.
We
Before
don't
we do
want to
that.
speak about comments?
No, I want to speak about comments, but should we say what they need to do this next time? I mean, I'm really bad at coming up with things for them to do, so, and I liked this last time we just said, make a comment.
Yeah.
Any
let's do
comment on
that.
our YouTube. And we got lots of comments, so.
We'll just do that again.
Yeah.
So just make a comment.
Make a comment.
Ask a question,
Yeah.
like this one lady did. And
Yeah, now you can talk about that.
And she wanted to know, because she had bought 100% alpaca for a sweater, and now she's worried that it will grow and she can't make it into a sweater. And so she had some questions about what to do about that. Well, what I would do is, first off, you have to do gauge swatches so you know what gauge you're getting. And I actually have a gauge class coming up if you'd like to come and join us.
Do you know when that is?
Sometime this fall.
You can go onto our website, www.3kittensneedlearts.com and look under classes, knitting and crochet classes, and then scroll down to the Knitter's Toolbox. And we have a whole series of classes that are called Toolbox classes.
Yes.
And one of them is the gauge class.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm teaching. And we go through a lot of stuff about gauge. Alpaca grows. It's nature because it, like if you have wool, so this is just some nice toothy wool, the stitches grab each other and they hold hands and they don't want to let go because of the scales on there. And alpaca doesn't have that, and so they don't want to hold hands as well. They want to let go and be free. But you can make them hold hands by knitting it at a tighter gauge, which is what I would do. Is I would probably find a sweater pattern that is, I don't know what yarn you have,
But just say it's a worsted weight.
Worsted weight. If it's a worsted weight, then I would find a pattern that calls for more like a DK, like a 22 stitches over 4 inches type of thing, and knit the alpaca to that, wash it, figure it out, and then it's gonna hold itself together better. It won't slip as much. So you're gonna just try and get a tighter gauge than what the label calls for. Now I pulled some yarn here.
Can we hold that for you?
No, I got it. So this is Blue Sky Alpaca Sport. It's 100% alpaca. And if I just let that loose, you can really see that it is, even in the skein, it's slippery and, beautiful. It would make a great, shawl or something, hat. Well, I don't know about a hat. Maybe if you put some elastic in the hat.
So what you're saying is it might not make a great hat because it wouldn't, if you did ribbing around the edge of the hat, like I did on that little hat that I was showing you, it wouldn't
spring
be
back.
Elastic. It
Yeah.
wouldn't tighten around your head.
Yeah, but we carry a little elastic that you carry along with, if you were doing sock tops. That would be good for this. Or you could hold it with some wool, which would also be an option, because the wool will work with it and hold it in place. I don't know, I love alpaca, and I just think it's so pretty. I have lots of alpaca.
And it's super soft.
So last time we talked about this alpaca classic, which we just got in, which is alpaca and cotton
From Rowan.
And I think that would make a nice sweater as well, although again, both of those are not elastic things. So Rowan has a whole bunch of patterns for this, and I would probably do one of their patterns because they would have tested it with this particular fiber. Now, if you really wanted to make a sweater and you wanted the alpaca in there, and you didn't want to have to deal with knitting it tighter or whatever, this right here, this is Blue Sky Extra. This is 50, is it 50-50?
I think it's 50-50.
It is 55 alpaca, 45 merino. Now, I can't knit with it, but this would be ideal.
Okay, but you have to always say why you can't knit with it.
I'm allergic to merino.
Okay.
I've always been allergic to merino. Even before I started knitting, I was allergic to it. So, it's the reason I know so much about fibers, is because I had to substitute immediately.
Yeah.
When I started knitting all these patterns, like this merino yarn, I'm like, okay, I can't do that. And then I started just doing it on my own without any help. And pretty soon, like, oh yeah, no, this didn't turn out how I wanted it to turn out.
Yeah.
What the heck? And so I had to learn by trial and error. But this is an ideal thing. You got that nice soft alpaca, and it's lighter than wool, it's warmer than wool, and this would keep you so toasty warm. Well, for me, this would be probably like I'm wearing it outside kind of sweater.
Yeah.
Not back in my workplace maybe. in the winter I could wear it, but because alpaca is very, very warm.
Mm-hmm. Why is it warmer than wool?
Because it's hollow.
Okay,
And
explain
so
that.
the hollow tube of the alpaca,
You're talking about the fiber
the
itself.
fiber itself, it's not like your hair is not hollow. If you pulled out a hair and cut it in half, it's not hollow.
And
it's
looked
solid.
at it under a microscope.
Yeah, because this is
'Cause you can't see
microscopic.
it otherwise.
Yeah. In alpaca, it's a hollow shaft inside of it because that is what creates air pockets. It's sort of like when you have the puffy jacket when you go skiing.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing as that. It's not that it's because it's got feathers or whatever's in those puffy jackets. I don't even know. But that's not what's keeping you warm. It's the air pockets that it's creating that's creating a barrier that keeps you warm. And so they live on mountains, so they need to be warmer.
Yeah, and so and they're they have scales on the outside of their fiber too, right? But they're just not.
They're just not as many.
Okay.
Everything has all. You have scales. I have
Right.
scales. Everything has the scales. Just some have a lot more than others.
Right.
And so that also is like what leads to like felting and stuff. So,
Mm-hmm.
'cause alpaca will felt. So, if you wanted to make like some felted slippers or something, that might be nice.
Mm-hmm.
But that would make a sweater's quantity of alpaca. That's a lot of slippers.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if she still has it, or if she knit it and found that it was
Well, if she
growing or
hasn't,
whatever. So
what
who
I read
knows?
into, but if you still have it and you want to make it in a sweater, yes, you can. You just need to make it a tighter gauge,
Yeah.
or you could carry it with something. But if you're talking a worsted weight alpaca and you carry it with a wool, it's going to get really warm unless you're carrying it, because you have to have something strong enough to, have the elasticity in there.
Right. Do you think that's
Not a superwash wool,
Yeah.
because that doesn't help. That's very slippery. That's the only wool that it grows.
So? Do you think that's why Rowan used the cotton instead of a wool? Was to minimize the
To lighten it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Minimize the
heat.
heat.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. So this would be nice because it's very light, and I'm sure but yeah, I'm sure that's why they use the cotton.
Yeah. But like Cecilia was saying, cotton doesn't have any elasticity either.
No.
So you need to think about what you're making out of this as well, and the fact that it will grow. So again, you might want to do a tighter gauge.
Yes.
Rowan's developed a lot of patterns for this, so I would assume that they've thought about
About
that
all
stuff
that.
when
Yeah, and
they've making their
Rowan
patterns.
designers are really good about that.
Yeah.
They will, they have some of the best designers in the world, in my opinion, and they are really good about taking into account what yarn is being used,
Right.
which is why sometimes it's hard to substitute with Rowan patterns, is because they specifically decided this is this,
Right. Right.
and so. Oh,
So-
and these little boxes are boxes we sell here in the shop.
Yeah,
I'd like
those
to
are
come-
called Miori boxes.
But look how cute it is.
We've got them in different sizes. We've got these mini ones, and then we have small ones, which are about like this, which would be great for a little project thing at the side of your
Yeah.
chair or whatever in your house.
Yeah.
So somebody else asked about. She wanted to know. We showed all these Rowan yarns last time, and we also showed soft yak, and we showed kid silk. But soft jack is also a DK weight. It's
Yes.
let's not bother getting up and getting it, but it's a yak, wool, and
Nylon.
blend.
No, it's cotton.
Oh,
Yak, and nylon.
Cotton, yak, and nylon. And this person wanted to know what the difference between these two would be when knit up, and would let's say, would one be better for a hat versus a sweater, that type of thing? Do you have any opinions on that? I mean, if it's also cotton yak, and I think yak is, well, I don't know much
this
about yak,
has
so.
more alpaca than that has yak. So,
But
I actually think that one probably is, well, for one thing, this has a fuzz factor. And it is going to have a halo. This would make a lovely hat, this alpaca cotton. And I think it would make a nice sweater. You just have to, I would actually just use a pattern from Rowan.
The only thing is that it's alpaca and cotton, so it doesn't have that elasticity again for the headband. I mean, for the.
I would actually do one of those little rolly ones, not with a headband.
Oh,
I would just
so
make it a little
brim.
smaller, and then have it be
Right.
just,
Or use that
Keep it
elastic thread
yeah,
along your ribbing.
Yep. It'd make a not a good color work shawl because of all that fuzz.
Yes, and there'd be too much halo.
Yeah.
So the soft jack with the nylon, do you think they added the nylon in there to give it a little bit more elasticity, or?
Yes, I'm sure that's why they did it, and a little more sturdiness.
Right.
And I think that would make a lovely sweater. The colors are gorgeous. So.
Okay, I messed up. What the heck am I doing here?
I don't know.
I don't know either. Oh my gosh.
Maybe you shouldn't take the complicated things in for when we're talking.
Whatever.
Whatever.
I mean, I can see what I did. The question is, can I fix it easily?
I don't know.
I don't know. You got other yarns over there, though, that you could talk about while I'm trying to fix it.
All right. So, we got some new yarns in. One that I've been very excited about is from West Yorkshire Spinners. The Croft, it's called, which makes it sound like it's some sort of,
It's the Croft Shetland Tweed.
Yes, it's Croft Shetland Tweed, but it makes it sound like it's part of some sort of like Wiccan, small town Wicker Man cult.
Croft is just the word for farm in England.
I
right?
know, but that is not what it sounds like. It sounds like something,
Okay.
untowards.
If
I
you
can
say
have it
so.
sound like whatever I want in my head. My head will do whatever it wants to. Jeez. Anyway, it has all the greatness of Shetland yarns, which means toothy. And
So Shetland's a breed of wool.
yes, from the Shetland Islands, which is North Atlantic area, so it's very, very cold there. So they need to have good sturdy coats to keep the rain and sleet and stuff off of them. And it's got speckles, so it's just really fun. It's kind of a new twist on an old favorite. And I know not everybody likes Shetland, but
It's actually pretty soft for a Shetland.
it is very soft for Shetland. And all Shetland will soften, when you wash it and wear it. And it'll last you forever. So 20 years from now, you can still wear that speckly sweater and remember the 2018 years of speckles.
Not 1918.
Not the 1918s. No. You could, but
It'd be a little weird.
and then the other thing that we got in, which is not new, it's an old classic. We've brought in Nature Spun worsted.
Who's Nature Spun by?
It is by Brown Sheep Company in beautiful Mitchell, Nebraska. It is 100% American yarn, so they get their wool from the United States and they spin it there, and they try really hard to not do too much impact to the environment. So they're good people. I like this yarn. It's a nice workhorse. It's $10 a ball. It felts beautifully. I made a felted tea cozy 1 billion years ago. And I don't know. I just think it's nice. And it's moth-proofed, so.
I have to rip out 4 rows. I guess I'm putting my knitting away for now. I tried to fix it. So the reason I brought in this yarn from Mitchell, Nebraska, from Brown Sheep, is because of concern about the tariffs and, you know, all the Chinese stuff. And I've been reading recently about Chinese, and I think they have the market cornered on superwash, if I'm not mistaken. That
Yes.
most superwash processing,
Most of it is
if
done
not all of it, is done in China.
Yes.
So it doesn't matter if the yarn comes from Australia or England
Mm-hmm.
or the U.S. If it's superwash, it goes through China. So, you know, we in the industry are a little concerned about the price increases that are going to potentially happen.
Yeah.
So I wanted to bring in a 100% American-made yarn, and it's not superwash, so that's not a concern for that. But a lot of our other yarns, even if they're American companies, have spent some time in China. So just trying to make sure that we're positioned well to, you know, provide yarns that's still not terribly expensive. Because this is a relatively inexpensive yarn. It's
It's $10 a ball. I just said that.
yeah, it's $10 a ball, but it says on there how much it is per skein, per yard, doesn't it? Oh, I didn't put that on there.
No.
Darn it!
But it has 245 yards.
No, and I figured it out. I think it's like 4 cents a skein, 4 cents a yard.
Which is a heck of a deal.
Which is good. And I think Cascade 220 in comparison is 4.2 cents per yard, or something like that. So it's got more yards than Cascade 220.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, but slightly higher price point. So, but the other great thing is you don't have to stand around and wait for us to wind it into a cake
ball.
for you.
Yeah.
So, what else do we have, Cecilia? Anything?
Want to talk about this?
Oh yeah.
We have a little temporary thing.
So June Cashmere sent us this cute little cowl set, and I don't know if you can see it. I always feel like we're sitting so far away from the camera, but isn't that pretty?
It's beautiful.
It's a cowl and a mitt. I just love the way Cecilia's got this set up here.
This is what it'll look like when you're wearing them,
Yeah.
see? Just like this. You'll look beautiful.
And we have these 2 colors. I don't know off the top of my head how much yarn it calls for the whole set, but it's I will write this on the screen because you will never figure out how this is written. Sheerdack cowl, and I would assume mitts. But we just have this in here for a little bit, I think maybe a month, so if you want to come and see it. And
Yep. This is the yarn. It's a gorgeous yarn, 100% cashmere from these beautiful little cashmere goats.
yeah, DK weight.
Yep.
They have a great story. We have some little flyers here about how they work directly with
You'll see this
yeah,
little kid here and the little stories on the back.
They
you
work
can
directly with the herders in Afghanistan, Nepal,
Kyrgyzstan.
Kyrgyzstan. I knew it was in that kind of area. You know, to help provide them with a
living
wage. So that's all good. And
it's $45 a skein, but it is 100% cashmere, and it is, you know,
it's
doing
beautiful.
good in the world,
Yeah.
and it's lovely.
It
I have
is.
some at home I'm going to make into a shawl.
Yay.
Yay!
And other than that, I think that's it for today.
I think it
Again,
is
I
too.
will go next door and I will do a little quick video tour of the space for you so you can see what's happening, because I know everybody's curious
They
about the
are.
expansion. You can always, when you stop in, go and peek in the door over there because you know, you can see what we see every day.
Yep.
We're always going over there going, what's happening?
Yeah. sometimes there's guys in there doing things.
Yeah.
It's very exciting.
Worky things.
Yeah.
Not just random
Just
things.
not random. Although the one day they were having lunch and they were eating pizza. So, you know,
Yeah.
but
Well, they
They-
have to eat lunch at some point,
they
right?
do.
Yeah.
It wasn't that. It was just like, that pizza looks good. It was more of that.
They probably felt like they were in a zoo, though, too,
Yeah.
because you're like,
You're
what's
peering
going on?
in.
Poor-
Probably.
Poor guys. I
Yeah.
don't hear anybody over there now, so I should run over there soon
Yeah.
and do the video. But anyway, that's it for today. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
And we'll be back in a couple more weeks.
That's
and
right.
We'll have more news on the expansion because 2 weeks after that we'll have been moved.
Hopefully. Yay.
All right, take care, you guys.
See
Bye.
you. Bye.
Hi everyone, this is the new space, and I just thought I'd give you a little tour. Here's the archway that's been cut in the wall for access from one side of the store to the next. And they just got the painting done in here. They replaced our lights last week with higher voltage lights. Sorry, it's kind of a mess in here. The front counter, our cash register will go right here in this corner, and our ball winder will go down there. And over here, we're going to have one of our class tables here. We'll have 2 class tables in the new space for the yarn department. And on this wall, we're going to have a TV. Yay! And then, yeah, I'm just trying to think of what else to tell you about the space. Excuse the racks that are in here. They're from Mainstream. They haven't taken them yet, and we'll probably end up buying a couple of them from them. And then in here is the new office space for Cecilia and me. I'm sure you're just thrilled that we're going to have an office. And the bathroom, you know, nothing special. I'm realizing that I'm filming a little crooked, so I hope it turns out okay. And our back room, which is also full of stuff right now. So that's pretty much it on all I can show you right now, but we're excited. We're going to be getting flooring in soon, and then our yarn ball lights from next door will be coming over here into this new space, and new lights will be put in next door. And yeah, and then the moving will happen towards the end of September, less than a month away. Woohoo!